Hello friends, Professor Sex here. September is Sexual Health Awareness Month. Every year in September, I try to use our social media platforms and the other platforms we have to increase people's awareness about all sorts of different issues surrounding sexual health. I posed a question to all of you and I gave you the opportunity to give me a true or false. So the question was, can you get herpes from drinking after someone who has it or using their straw? I asked you guys true or false. And honestly, the answers were split. About 50% of you said true, you can get herpes from drinking after someone who has it. And the other 50% of you said no, you cannot. So I reached out to my colleague and friend, Jenelle Pierce, Executive Director from the STI Project. Jenelle is the expert on this stuff and definitely the person I like to go to most for information about this. I wanted Jenelle not just to tell us the answer to the question because, spoiler, I already knew the answer, but I wanted her to explain to us why can't people seem to come to a consensus on this. Again, Jenelle's answer is fabulous. So everything that follows is the content of the letter that Jenelle sent us. So this is Jenelle's answer. I'm just doing a dramatic reading. This is a great question that's heavily debated because most people misunderstand the science behind the herpes virus. To start, herpes is an incredibly unstable virus. The moment the virus leaves the human body, it begins to die. Unlike some other STIs, the virus is not robust enough to live on surfaces. However, in science, there are very few absolutes. So, in theory, there is a very small possibility that someone could contract the herpes simplex virus, that's HSV1 or HSV2, by sharing an eating utensil immediately following someone else. But the reality is that's not how HSV is transmitted among humans. HSV is transmitted from skin-to-skin contact and it needs a point of entry into the body, typically anywhere mucous membranes exist. Eyes, nose, ears, mouth, urethra, vulva, anus. Over 2/3 of the population has HSV1, and anywhere between 1 in 4 and 1 in 6 people, depending on the source of the information, has HSV2. That's a lot of people, but not all people. And that's because transmission is common, but not absolute. Interestingly, HSV is not the most easily spread virus in the human herpes virus family. Both the Epstein-barr virus and the cytomegalovirus, human herpes viruses 4 and 5 respectively, are more likely to be transmitted from sharing eating utensils because they're transmitted through saliva and other bodily fluids, so not skin to skin like HSV1 and 2. So then why the ongoing debate about HSV being transmitted through sharing drinks and other personal items? Simply, it's stigma. Because HSV is so highly stigmatized, even the oral kind to some extent, people would rather say they contracted it from sharing a beverage with somebody, a socially acceptable behavior, than say from kissing or any other sexualized activity. Simply, people want to assuage the shame that is correlated with HSV, so they cite toilet seats and toiletries as the culprit, when really they just contracted it the same way everyone contracts it, through skin-to-skin contact. Lastly, it's important to note that those who say it could be transmitted through the immediate sharing of items have no way to prove this to be true, despite being scientifically possible in theory. Because by the time someone has oral HSV, for example, they've already been kissed by parents, family, partners, etc. They've already had skin-to-skin contact. So there's no way to isolate how they contracted the infection. But because we know that behavior, kissing, is so much more likely to transmit HSV than any shared utensil, we know they contracted their infection the same way everyone else does, through skin-to-skin contact. Jenelle, that answer was absolutely fantastic, and again, so beautifully put. If you want to see more of Jenelle's work and connect to the other things she's doing, you can find her at thestiproject.com. We'll also make sure to put all of her social media links in the blog post and show notes on the YouTube video. So if you're seeing this on social media and you want to get all of the rest of Jenelle's links, go to professorsex.com and find this on the blog, or go to thestiproject.com and she'll have all her social media links there. Thank you so much, Jenelle. Thank you so much, y'all, for watching. Happy Sexual Health Awareness Month. We'll see you guys next time.